Welcome to the module, Receiving Recurring Purchase Orders. Recurring purchase orders are a very common occurrence at any property. Birch Street purchasers may create recurring purchase orders for supplies and services that occurs on a repeated basis. There are two ways a buyer can create a recurring purchase order. The buyer can create a separate purchase order each time a delivery is needed, or create one large purchase order representing a number of deliveries needed over time, for example, 1 week or 1 month. The two methods will have different implications for the receiver. When receiving a separate purchase order for each delivery, the receiver will simply receive the purchase order like normal. When receiving multiple deliveries over time from one large purchase order, the receiver will need to know how to properly receive the items. Let's go over this in today's module. In today's example, Pablo, the Director of Services, has created two purchase orders with costs to be separated out over the entire year. One for the monthly window cleaning service and the other for the property's pest control contract. Jamie, the Assistant Director of Services, will be conducting the Birch Street receiving. In order for Jamie to receive the recurring purchase order, he will first locate the purchase order in Birch Street. Let's use the window cleaning purchase order as our first example. Jamie can search by the purchase order number or subject and initiate the receiving process by clicking on the Receive button. He will enter the received date and click on the Line Items tab. Here, Jamie will see the entire purchase order. We can see that Jamie has access to receive each month of service for the purchase orders as listed out by Pablo. In order for Jamie to receive this month's service, he will enter the accepted quantity for the particular month. For today, Jamie will receive the January window cleaning service by entering a quantity of 1 in the accepted quantity field for January. He will then finalize his receiving event by clicking on the Receive button. A prompt will notify Jamie the process is done. At this stage, the PO will be displayed as a partially received, since the remaining months of service have not yet been marked as received. Jamie will be able to find and receive against this purchase order in the future and when each month of service is provided. There may be instances when services are not rendered against a recurring purchase order as expected. This could be due to a mutual business decision, such as unnecessary services and contract cancellations. To mark services as not rendered or received, the receiver can go into the recurring purchase order and cancel the appropriate line. For this scenario, let's bring back the same monthly window cleaning service purchase order. Today, Jamie realized the February and March window cleaning services have been canceled due to weather and will not be rescheduled. He can open the purchase order for receiving once again and go into the Line Items tab. All Jamie has to do is check the Cancel Remaining checkboxes next to the appropriate line items. This will cancel the items in these two lines. Note: these are the same steps reviewed during the Receiving Exception module. Let us summarize what we have learned so far. The process for receiving recurring purchase orders in Burt Street is very similar to partially receiving a purchase order. The receiver needs to only receive the line items for services rendered, making sure to leave the remaining line items open for additional receiving. The Cancel Remaining Quantity feature can be used when remaining services are not rendered or are canceled on a recurring purchase order.